Hi there, I'm Amy Jane, and this is Drawing 101, lesson number 3. Today we're going to draw. We're not just gonna watch. No, we're not. Please won't you draw? Please won't you draw with me? Please, please, draw with me. Come on, let's go. So for today's lesson, we are going to start thinking about the idea of what it is to make a mark on the page. We don't need any objects to draw. We're going to be using our imagination to draw. When your hand makes a drawing, you put a little piece of yourself in there and it makes it so cool. Our imagination, some kind of mysterious life to it. We're going to be incorporating some experimentation with ink. So for the materials that you're going to need today, all you have to do is go find yourself any kind of a pen. They make gel pens or ballpoint pens, but just go and find a pen, give it a test, see if it writes really nicely. We want it kind of smooth. Doesn't matter if it's blue or black. Also, any kind of a paintbrush and some water. And as usual, just a couple of pieces of paper. It's now time to hit the pause, now time to hit the pause. Please won't you hit the pause. Go and get some supplies. Okay, let's get started. Using our imaginations, we are going to doodle. And to start our doodle, we're going to make any kind of mark, any kind of scribble we want on the page. I really want to just free myself. I want to free my mind, and I don't want to get too uptight. There is no right or wrong here. You can scratchy scribbly if you want. You can be really loose. This is completely up to you. And the point is to make it look like nothing. It is literally a scribble that will not look like anything. Happy? Now going back to the idea of what it is to make mark, I then am going to take my scribble and I'm going to start to embellish it and elaborate it. And I'm going to think in a design kind of a way. When you're getting started, grab an extra sheet of paper and use it against your palm and rest it on the paper so that you don't smear the ink from section to section as you work. Every single one of your scribbles is going to be different, but you're just going to start to work with your pen to make some different kind of marks. Maybe they're lines, maybe they're circles. You kind of just want to take your scribble and fill it in with whatever comes into your imagination. We're going to think about some patterns. And I want you to take your time with this. Stop the video if you have to and just start to create your own thing. This is your own little live landscape of nothingness. I do want you to try to think about not making it look like anything. Just it's spontaneous. Whatever pops into your imagination, do that on your page. And alter things a little. I have a tendency to put in this little ghost character. I always find a place to add my ghost. Stripes. I'm gonna think pattern. And I stayed in the lines and now I'm gonna come out of the lines. But I'm actually not I don't want to talk too much through this portion of our lesson because I don't want to impede your creative process. So I'm going to sit here in silence for just a few minutes. And if you're drawing and you're creating, you won't be bored. But I don't want you to listen, and I don't want my words to change what you're going to do on yours because it's going to be all from your own head and your own imagination. let's just take some time here. Keep just letting your own mind guide your hand. You can start to think about a variation in the types of marks you're making. Some of them lighter, some of them darker, filling some of it in with more ink, or different things like that. Whatever strikes you, whatever appeals to you. What I'm doing here is trying to get you to think abstractly. Now I want to show you a very fun technique that you can incorporate into your doodle. And again, just have fun, play around with it, not too serious, but we're going to grab our paintbrush and that water that we had got before. And we're going to come in and just start to work with our ink with the water. Now, this ballpoint pen that I'm using did not have any impact when I put water with it. So if you're using a ballpoint pen, this will not work. This technique will not work. But that's where we can try and find a gel pen. And if you're using a ballpoint pen and your water doesn't work on your ballpoint pen, keep working away. Maybe later on you can find yourself a gel pen or some other kind of ink, and you can try this later. So keep working on your doodle, but for those of you who are using a gel pen, I'm gonna sample some of these ideas behind what you can accomplish with this cool technique and a gel pen. Now first, I have to lay in some of my gel pen, just because I have ballpoint pen ink on there that's not gonna really work. So I'm gonna fill in some of my circles with the gel pen ink. I'm just going to start and make a couple of these marks with this different kind of ink. So now dip my paintbrush into the water and go in here and just do it real lightly at first, because you're going to see you're going to pick up, that water is going to pick up a lot of the ink and it's going to be able to smear and smudge. And this is where I just want you, and keep going back into your water. So here's where I just want you to play around. Use that water. Pull some of the ink out. You can really just experiment when it comes to a doodle. It's all about just experimenting. And see how I'm using a little bit of the ink that's already on the page and just some water to create a different type of mark. Incorporate it into your doodle if you can. It's just a fun little tool and experimentation technique. It can give you some variations in tones, and darker to lighter you can make it look, and it just is really a fun thing. See, I can get it to go lighter, but it's just about having fun, making some marks. There is no right or wrong. It's about thinking abstractly and thinking freely. This really is just so fun. I encourage you to keep doodling and keep having fun with it. Just keep doodling, just keep doodling. Just experiment. This is about just making marks on a paper that are abstract and that come from your imagination. One artist that demonstrates wonderful abstract ability is Alexander Calder. Alexander does wonderful prints and paintings, but he's most well known for his hanging mobiles. They take gravity and balance to a whole new level. So they hang and sort of move, and he uses various different kinds of materials and some wire, but it's just a wonderful idea of balance and shape. Definitely check him out. Keep drawing. Just keep doodling. Just keep doodling. Use this. Use this hand. Use this pen. Just do it. Just doodle.